on the NewsChannel 5 network. This is Open Line.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open Line. Really glad you are with us tonight. At a time like this, when there is so much stress and change and fear, I think it's a good idea for us to just talk. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We have no guest. It is open phones. And I always enjoy open phones because it gives us a chance to see what is on people's minds. But tonight, I feel like it's going to be how the coronavirus is impacting you in some way, shape, or form. It's impacting all of us. There is no doubt. And I think we can benefit from hearing each other's stories. How is it impacting your work? How is it impacting your school? How is it impacting your church? Have you tried to get tested and couldn't, or have you been tested? Just a chance to really have a virtual community meeting where we can share our stories and try and make some sense of all of this. It has certainly been a crazy period here in Tennessee with the tornadoes and now the coronavirus. Tonight, again, we want to hear from you. There's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Say where you're calling from, and then just kind of talk about what's on your mind, and we'll give everybody a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'll give some of the latest information. Here in Tennessee, we have 99 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, the vast majority of those in Davidson County. There are 58 confirmed in Davidson County. Second county is Williamson with 24. Several counties had some newly reported cases: Cheatham County, Robertson County, Sumner County, so counties all around us. Vanderbilt has set up some mobile testing sites. Vanderbilt has set up 11 testing sites, and as of yesterday, it screened 3,000 people. So we're beginning to see more tests, though I can tell you we have gotten emails and other communications here in the newsroom from people that want to get tested and have not been tested. Now, once you're tested, it's not like there is some cure. Essentially, they're going to tell you to drink chicken soup and get better. If things get worse, then you would go to the hospital. But if you are tested, the goal is just to isolate yourself, to stay away from others, to not infect others. And so that would be the goal of testing, is to try and slow down the spread of this virus. We're already getting some calls. I want to also play a couple of news reports. We'll play a report from Channel 5. We'll also play a report from CBS News. The president held a briefing today. We'll probably see a lot of briefings from state officials, from federal officials. Why don't we start with that, and then I'll get all of the people that are online already. I'll get your names, and then we'll just start taking calls. So we'll play this CBS News report that aired tonight with the latest information from the course of the day, and then we'll start taking your phone calls. Again, there's the number, 615-737-PLUS. Let's watch this report, then we'll come back and take calls.
President Trump invoked the Defense Production Act to expand production of medical equipment to combat the coronavirus outbreak.
We've never had to even think in terms of these numbers, but we need millions of masks, and all of that will be ordered. We need respirators. We need ventilators is a big thing because it's a complex piece of equipment.
The president also announced 2 hospital ships will be mobilized to ease the strain on healthcare systems. The USNS Comfort will be heading to New York.
The Comfort's currently in for maintenance in Norfolk, and so they're going to expedite the maintenance that they can and prepare it. That's not a day's issue. That's a week's issue. So it's going to be a little while.
Earlier in the day, the U.S. and Canada agreed to close the northern border to all non-essential traffic.
It's not pertaining at this moment to trade between the two countries.
The Treasury Department would like to start issuing direct payments to Americans by next month based on income and family size, with a second wave of payments in May, but Congress must still approve the plan.
There's a great bipartisan effort going on that I haven't really seen before to this extent.
As lawmakers negotiate a larger stimulus package, the Senate passed a separate relief bill that already passed the House.
That's roughly $100 billion that will deal with expanding unemployment insurance, with paid sick leave.
Nearly 1 in 5 Americans says they've already seen their hours reduced or been laid off. And those numbers are rising, with Ford, General Motors, and Fiat Chrysler all temporarily closing U.S. plants because of the coronavirus. The markets had another big sell-off today. The Dow finished down more than 1,300 points. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
So there's a lot of information to take in just from that report. Certainly the financial information is scary. 1 in 5 Americans have been laid off or seen their hours reduced. A stimulus package is working its way through Congress. That is good news. We'll learn more about that. But we have a bunch of calls. And again, I just want people to kind of tell us what's going on with them. How is this impacting you? What are your concerns? What do you think we need to be focusing on? So here's your chance. Let's go to Eugene. Eugene, first of all, say where you're calling from and what's on your mind.
Hi, my name is Lou Jean, and I live in Goodlettsville. And I've got several things on my mind. Number one, I'm 65. I have been unemployed since last summer. I worked in the hotel industry for almost 30 years, the music industry prior to that. So they're the two hardest hit, usually in the beginning of a recession.
Right.
But my unemployment ran out 3 weeks ago. And I heard Congress say they wanted to extend unemployment benefits. But working in hotel, my family doesn't want me to get out now because I'm in the group of seniors, that is more susceptible. If I were looking for a job and went to a hotel, they're laying off. So I get $537 a month Social Security, and without that little unemployment check each week, it's kind of hard. But I'm not as worried about me as I am my mom. She's 90. She still works 2 days a week. But where she works, they told her, don't come in, we're worried about you, even though she doesn't have a lot of contact with the public. And I have a 21-year-old nephew with Crohn's disease who's a heating and air engineer, and then a 23-year-old niece who has a dance school. So right now she's on spring break, so she's not sure if they're going to resume classes. But I'm kind of worried about the other members of my family first.
Where does your mom work? Where does your 90-year-old mom work?
She works at her church, and she has for almost 25 years, and she loves it. But, they told her don't come to church, and the church is pretty much her life. Her big social thing, and she's a very social person, and she's already going crazy. She's going stir crazy now. So I told her we may just have to get in the car and take a drive and avoid people, but just, drive around if we have to. But
so what is your plan? What are you going to do? You say you ran out of unemployment benefits. What is your plan?
Well, I have a nice little apartment that I rent from a friend, and my rent's low enough that my Social Security covers that and my utilities. I did recently apply for food stamps because that was my next biggest expense, I guess you would say, even just for one person. So that will help. Now, other things like car insurance. My car needs an alternator right now. I can't do that now. So even if I could get out and look for a job, I'm kind of in that catch-22. I need a job to do these things, but I can't get out and look for a job.
These are unprecedented times. There is no doubt about it. Just unprecedented. We saw in that story from CBS News, there is a stimulus package coming. People will be getting some stimulus money. Certainly there's some unemployment benefits. It sounds like that they're trying to get out there. But that's not going to be enough for everybody. There's no doubt.
That's what I've had problems finding out. I called the governor's office twice today, and the lady referred me to Labor and Workforce Development. I had already been calling them for the last 2 or 3 days to see if they knew if it would be. Nobody there knew. They said it hadn't been yet, and they didn't know if it would be.
I think people don't know.
Again
I think they don't know.
But it'd be nice if they'd give me a month of that now.
Yeah.
But there's people a lot worse off than me. I'm not complaining. I'm really not. I just want a reporter to say, are you going to extend them? And if not, then I'll kind of know what I need to do, what kind of plans I need to make.
And Eugene, honestly, I think we don't know right now. We honestly don't know. Obviously, this is making its way through the legislature. I'm glad you're sharing your story. I mean, I think there are a lot of people in your situation. There's no doubt. There's certainly people that are being laid off right now as a result of their businesses closing.
Yeah,
your situation's different than that. You've been laid off for a while.
And like I said, some of these people got kids, and they're worrying about daycare, or if they don't, they're not working, they don't have any income. So there are people worse off than me, and I understand that. but especially the tornado victims. We don't need to forget them right now.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's the kind of thing we'd be talking about.
I may just volunteer and go help them. Maybe they'll let me go help them.
There's no doubt a way, well, thank you, Lugene, a way to kind of overcome your own fears, anxieties, all of that is to help others. If you have it within you to find a way to help others, there's certainly a lot of need out there right now. There's no doubt about it. Let's go to Melanie. Hello, Melanie. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Antioch.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Yes, I am self-employed. I've been cleaning vacation rentals for a few years, and of course everybody's canceling because they've closed Nashville down, as well as other states. But the government is giving unemployment. I wouldn't be eligible for unemployment being self-employed. I, of course, wouldn't get any kind of time off pay. And I know that small businesses are getting some help, corporations are getting help, but I'm not sure exactly what category I would fall into, or is there going to be some kind of help for somebody that is self-employed like that and can't get unemployment?
So you wouldn't call yourself a small business. You're just self-employed. You work for yourself. You don't have employees that work with you. You're self-employed.
No. I just clean by myself. Right. I'm 72 years old.
72.
And I don't know if, and I don't have any insurance either, so I don't know even if I was able to go and get the test, what would happen if I actually was positive. Because I wouldn't be able to afford, a great expense on any kind of health care, at least not at this moment.
Yes, you're right. I mean, what I've been told is, again, if you test positive, what they're telling you to do is just not come in contact with other people. For the most part, you're just supposed to self-isolate. Now, it's not like they have some drug that you can take that cures it. They monitor yourself, stay away from others. I believe, I have the numbers in here somewhere, some of you may know, I believe there aren't that many people that are in the hospital right now with the coronavirus. A lot of people are testing positive, a fair number of people, 99 people in the state of Tennessee, 58 people in Davidson County, but certainly not all of those are in the hospital. What's nice with these tests is just to know if you are infected and then to stay away, self-isolate, stay away from others. But you have financial questions, and I think we all do. Everybody has financial questions right now, and we see that the federal government's trying to work through some things. Lugene was trying to get some answers. Obviously, Melanie, you're trying to get some answers. We don't have a lot of answers, but it's good that you're sharing your story, talking about it. You're not alone. Hopefully, there is help on the way. It was kind of encouraging to hear the president say in that last report, there's a bipartisan effort to make a difference here that he hadn't seen in a long time. And so at least that is working, potentially. So that is good news. Should we take another call before we go to break? Well, why don't we take a break, and then we'll come back. We'll just go through a bunch of calls. So Sue, Ricky, Lucy, all of you, hang on. And if you're on the line, hold on. I didn't call your name. We'll get to it. Take a break. Be back right after this.
Storm 5 weather update. For weather on the go, download the Storm Shield app.
Storm 5 alert will take us until 8 o'clock tonight. You can see plenty of showers and thunderstorms that are on Power 5 radars, but the threat of an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm continues. Gusty winds the primary threat with any that do reach severe limits, although there is a low threat of an isolated tornado, as well as some localized heavy rain that could cause some flooding with some of these heavier downpours, especially areas that see rainfall over and over again. Warm front lifting through. Look at what it's done to temperatures. Quite the difference a day can make, even a couple of hours. That warm front moved through, southerly winds kicked in, and those numbers started to shoot up. Hourly observation at Nashville International Airport shapes up like this. We'll top out in the mid-70s today. 70s will stick around for a few days. May need another Storm 5 alert tomorrow night into Friday morning. We'll continue to monitor that closely for you. From the Storm 5 Weather Center, I'm News Channel 5 meteorologist Henry Rothenberg.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the
Why? Why do we ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right? The answer to why defines who we are. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For my family.
For each other. Because all of this matters. We all have something worth protecting. So why do you see safe? Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open Line. Our topic tonight, it's open phones. That means you just call in. We're hearing from you. How is the coronavirus impacting you, your work, your school, your family, in whatever way? Already a couple of calls concerned about certainly the employment aspect of all of this. Let's just go back to the phones. If you don't mind, say where you're calling from and then just kind of tell us what's on your mind. We'll go with Sue and then Lucy. But let's go to Sue first. Hello, Sue.
Hello.
Where are you calling from, Sue?
Hendersonville.
Okay. So what's on your mind?
Well, I just have a brief question, and I want to thank you for doing this program anyway. It's very beneficial.
Thank you.
My washer and dryer has stopped working, and is it safe to go to a public laundromat?
It's a good question. So what I'll do is put that out there for everyone. And is it safe to go to a public laundromat? You know, what they say is to keep yourself out of situations where there are large group of people, no more than 10 people gather. We're hearing all kinds of things about this virus, that it can stay on a surface for some period of time. If I were in a group that is considered susceptible to this, I would be reluctant to go. Now, if you don't have a washer and dryer, you know, I don't know what you do. Maybe there's a certain time of day you could go. Maybe you go and you take wipes with you and make sure everything's sanitary. But if you go, you should certainly be thinking about wiping down those surfaces and keeping yourself away from some of these possible threats as you possibly can. It's a tough call, but I understand the question, and I can let others weigh in. Thank you for calling in, Sue. Let's go to Lucy. Hello, Lucy.
Hey, Mr. Hall. Thank you. The lady that is it Lou Jean that
Right.
called? I think your first caller.
Right.
She said that her alternator has gone out or is going out on her vehicle. I'll side note that and say something about that. There is supposed to be a mechanics ministry, either in Wilson County or Sumner County, Rutherford County, or Davidson County. I think you guys, or Channel 4 maybe, did a news story on this ministry a few years ago. I think they have like a 3-bay garage behind their church or something. And I've been looking for them for several years to try to refer people to them who are walking because they need something like a sensor put on their car or something. So
what a great idea, a mechanics ministry.
If you could find that, this is the time. There are going to be a lot of people with skills that are bored. I'm getting ready to do a few things myself, and I'm not saying that I'm skilled, but I've got to get caught up. I'm going to clean my windows, and then I've got to deal with some serious issues, like I've got appliances and stuff like that have malfunction, and I might electrocute myself, but I got to get them done. But there are people out there. Now, also, Legine mentioned the fact about food stamps. Over in Hermitage, the Dotson Chapel Church, Methodist Church there on Dotson Chapel, was wiped out.
And the tornado,
what's
right?
astonishing to me is the church that has been there for about over 100 years was wiped out. The old Dotson Elementary School, they're setting that up to demolish it. It's all gone. And it tore that neighborhood up across the street. But that little food pantry there in a portable building is still standing and is still giving out food, and it's just not for tornado buildings. There are several food pantries around here, I think, and I'm going to mention your other network, because if it wasn't for you journalists here in town, you broadcast journalists, and the print media here, print journalists, we wouldn't be getting a lot of this information. But Channel 4 showed where some schools that are feeding these kids are allowing seniors to come in and get some of the discounted meals, and there's senior centers across Nashville that have little cafes, and they've got good meals for a reasonable price. If they're still open, maybe you can go and they can pick up to go. But one of the other things I want to mention is I was in Goodlettsville today, and I went to the services to dump garbage, not trash debris like yard stuff and all that, but just household garbage. And they shut down the convenience centers across Nashville. Now, if you live out in the general services area, either you pay to have somebody pick it up or you haul it off yourself. A lot of senior citizens haul it off themselves and drop their little bag off, their 2 weeks worth in one little bag, you know, as they go run errands. That is shut down. Why, I have no idea. I respect garbage men and their safety, but it was without warning around 9:30 this morning.
So many things are just closing. Libraries are closing. Are you aware of?
You can't do your census, you can't do your taxes, but you know they're saying file if you got a refund. A lot of people now use the e-file, so that's kind of crazy to me. But
are you aware where seniors can shop, Lucy? Like, are you aware?
Yes, and I've checked with Dollar General. I went to Kroger and Walmart, and it's crazy what's happened, how people are cleaning stuff off the shelf. There are a lot of senior citizens standing in these stores that are absolutely stunned, and they're looking as to what to do, and it's just too much on them. I think if you call Dollar General, I wish you guys would get in touch with them. I think it's at 8 o'clock in the morning for 1 hour you can come in. I went to Dollar General today, and I got stuff that I could not find at Kroger or Walmart yesterday, and there's no craziness in there, but it's open for seniors, and they said there's supposed to be some other groceries, and I've asked Walmart and Kroger, and they said no. But
I'm looking for that information. You're right. Dollar General does have that. I'm not sure of the time. I think it's earlier in the morning, but that's a good place to call.
It's early in the morning. Now, one other thing. I ran into a lady today at the sewing store, and I asked her how she was doing, and she said, okay. And I said, are you making through this, or do you have family? She has no family. She is all alone. And keep in mind that a lot of those old heifers like me, when we get to our age, the guys have already passed away, and a lot of women are alone.
Right.
And just because you think that your senior citizen neighbor lady is doing a good job, she's keeping up with things, don't be deceived. You just had a lady call in today to say her washer's out, and she doesn't know what to do. So kind of give people information and help them out, and make sure you don't hook them up with a crook. And myself, well, you know, Mr. Hall, how I'm doing. I just run my mouth and get busy when things get crazy.
Well, Lucy, keep running your mouth.
Far better than most, dear.
Good, Lucy. Well, thank you for calling in. Keep calling in. We appreciate it. Let's go to line 5. Let's go to Ricky. Hello, Ricky. Where are you calling from, and what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind? I live up here around Cookville. I'm about a half a mile from where the tornadoes and stuff came through.
Oh, wow.
And everything. And I had a big question. Was this virus just contained to the regular citizens hospitals, the public hospitals, or is this also spreading into your mental hospitals and stuff? Because I do have a loved one that is mentally ill, but for some reason they like keeping stuff like that a secret.
Right.
But, I'm just curious if that virus is even getting into the mental hospitals and stuff.
There's no reason. Well, thank you, Ricky. And you're going through a lot up there. There's no reason it wouldn't go into the mental hospitals. I haven't heard that it has, but I certainly haven't heard that it has not. Now, as I look over the counties where there are cases, confirmed cases of the coronavirus. I don't see Putnam County listed. I could be missing it, but I don't see Putnam County listed. Again, that does not mean it's not in Putnam County. I don't know what kind of access there is to testing there. Certainly Putnam County has been through it with the tornado and now this. But I guess that's good news. There's not a obvious case in Putnam County. The reality is that it spreads easily. The hope is that by doing what we're doing, essentially shutting down everything, we will slow the spread of it, and maybe it won't get so bad there. But there's certainly no reason that it wouldn't go to a particular place like you're talking about. So just be vigilant. You may not get that information, but don't think that you can't get it. You know, do what they're saying to do, and be as careful and vigilant as you can be. But Ricky, thank you for calling in. Let's go to Ashley. Hello, Ashley. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Estill Springs, Tennessee.
Great. All right, what's on your mind?
Okay. I have a 9-month-old son, and there's people out there, I guess you can say, over buying stuff. I went the other day and there was no baby wipes, and diapers were limited, and my son right now has no formula at all, and his weight renewed tomorrow. And Walmart said all they had was 8 cans, and they weren't for sure if they was going to have it or not. And I don't have an income because I'm a felon for one reason, and it's hard for me to get a job having a little boy. And it's just hard. My fiance, he works at Tepro, and he just found out that they're shutting Nissan down.
Right.
And we don't know what to do because we don't have the money to afford to buy it straight cash for his formula, and I'm just not knowing what to do. I've been asking for help, and it's like people want to help, that, you know, they don't have a way to me because I don't drive, and I just don't. I'm at the end because I don't know what to do, and he has no milk at all.
So you have a 9-month-old, and is the problem you can't find it on the shelves, or you can't afford it?
It's like what they got right now is like at 8 cans. And they said they cannot put it back or nothing like that, and it's not a guarantee that they'll have it in the morning.
And you're in Estill Springs?
Yes.
I mean, okay, thank you for sharing that. I mean, I know that there are plenty of people, I'm afraid, that are close to your situation. Your situation sounds pretty dire. I don't know if there's a church or some sort of charity organization that's near you that hopefully you can reach out and get some help. But wow, what are you going to do tomorrow?
Well, see, his weight renews, and I'm hoping that we can find a place that has his formula.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ashley, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So there you're hearing somebody who has a couple of problems. Can't find the formula, can't find enough of it. There's not a ton, she said, there at the Walmart there. And then is struggling with her fiance being laid off, with her work employment problems, even being able to afford it for her 9-month-old. So that's Ashley in Estill Springs. Ashley, thank you for calling in. I'm going to keep going through the phones here. We have a bunch of calls. Vincent? Vincent, are you there? Where are you calling from? I think you're there.
Now?
Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from West Natural.
Okay. All right. What's on your mind?
All right. Let's start back from the start. Now, the reason why a lot of people are not being able to find these items at the Walmart or Kroger big department stores like they are, sometime about the middle of last week or right leading on before Friday, before all this virus even got started, they took it on their own that they took to donate those items all to the tornado relief people. And right after that, they did that, and the virus just got started up. They're having a hard time to keep the supplies and all that still be at these department stores. That's where you find everybody went from Dollar General or the Dollar Trees, and that's why you don't see none of them on them shelves there. But asking me how I'm doing fine. I'm taking this virus no more than a flu. Because the symptoms of the flu is the same symptoms that covers this virus. And I would think that there's a lot of people that the age is conveyor of smokers, because this virus hurts a lot of people that got respiratory problems.
Right, that's correct.
Breathing. And if the people are a heavy smoker or an all smoker, they need to start looking at this right here, because this is not going to help them at all if they do get hold of this virus, because all it's going to do is prolong it. And I don't see right now the way the total of the country and our state, I don't see it slowing down any. And one thing, I know they stopped a lot, or still having a few taking plane flights. But what I'm thinking is any of the cruise ships. The cruise ships, have they even stopped? Because
I think the cruise ships have stopped. I don't know anybody who would get on a cruise right now. I don't think that's a wise idea.
Because you have so many people from different countries and states, and that gets on.
Airline travel is way, way, way down. That's interesting what you said, and it's interesting, I guess, from our last caller, Ashley, talking about, are people hoarding food? Are they hoarding certain things? We've certainly seen people buy all kinds of stuff. It's been reported all over the place about toilet paper. We have been assured that there will be enough. There is enough food right now. There is enough the toilet paper coming. I mean, if people don't unnecessarily panic, there's going to be plenty. And I think that they can meet the supply. I don't think that that is an immediate concern.
Well, once they do get back on the shelf, they will be enough, because a lot of them have stepped up to saying that you only can buy a limit.
Yeah, I think they're trying to limit some of it to something that's within reason.
Yeah, that'll help out a whole lot, because when they first got started, I mean, everybody was going at it like we had an earthquake or something, you know, and there was a need.
Because people want to do something. They don't know what to do. They want to do something, and that's what they feel like they can do. They've lost all control, and they just want to have some sense that they're trying to help themselves, and that's what they do. But that's not a helpful thing.
I just feel sorry for a lot of the employees, especially in the business of either the restaurants or working at bars and all, because that's their livelihood.
Yeah, it is.
And if you get the places, your business getting shut down or closed, even just a week, that's enough to affect a whole family right there. We're missing work and missing pay. So I wanted myself to work at a restaurant, and I just found out earlier today that Dr. Mills, out there where I'm at, they've shut down until the 29th now.
Oh, really?
So, so you got to look at all the stores out there that's in that mall, and look at all of the employees that works in those stores, how it's going to affect. And some of the people are getting hit twice. You're having people that lost in the tornado, and then now they got this, so they're getting hit twice. And I feel sorry for the ones that get hit that bad, because it's like there ain't no turning point, because every time something happens, something else comes up. And this is what happened to these people, and I feel sorry about these ones, and I hope we can come up with something pretty quick that everything can wash over and we can get back to the state of mind.
Amen to that. Amen. Yeah, Vincent's right on so many levels there. There's so many people that have been hit twice. There's so many people that got a call yesterday that their business is closing and they're laid off. There's so many restaurant workers, retail workers, hotel workers, people in the travel industry. There are people all over that are having that happen. Vincent said he hopes that this can turn around quickly. Certainly we all hope that. The president has said initially a 15-day period. And now I saw the Surgeon General interviewed this morning, and he said it'll likely be longer than that. But at least let's see if we can flatten this curve over the next 15 days. Let's see what we can do by isolating ourselves, by not coming in contact with other people, by not having large gatherings, by really trying to flatten the curve over the next 15 days, and then let's go from there. But hopefully this won't last too long. There is precedence. I mean, we had the Spanish flu, as it was called, in 1918 and 1919. 7,000 people or so died in Tennessee. 1,500 people or so died in Davidson County. And that was a terrible, stressful time. Churches shut down just as they are now. I mean, I'd never seen anything like churches closing, but churches are closing, and that's the responsible thing to do so that people that come to worship don't get sick. We get through it. We will get through it. The question is, how long will it take? And there's a lot of pain and a lot of fear out there right now. All right, we're going to take a break. Thank you for calling in. We have a bunch of calls, so stay on the line. We'll be back right after this.
It's our Factory Direct patio furniture sale at Family Leisure.
Spring is just around the corner. Shop now for the largest selection at guaranteed lowest prices. Factory Direct pricing on all of the best brands. Maintenance-free poly, dining that seats 10 or more. Elegant cast aluminum, beautiful hand-woven wicker. We got it all, and it's all on sale. Check out our large selection of chases, umbrellas, bases, and more. Can't find what you're looking for? Visit our design center to create your dream collection. These great products are also on sale now.
Factory Direct patio furniture sale going on now at Family Leisure.
This is Payne Bone. For our family, Wilson County has been home for many years. For our friends and neighbors affected by the storm and in need of a replacement vehicle, we're here to help. Wilson County Hyundai will provide up to $1,000 in purchase assistance in addition to factory savings with no payment until June on all new Hyundais. We stand with Wilson County and all of Middle Tennessee. We're here to help. Wilson County Hyundai in Lebanon, 20 minutes east of the Nashville Airport. It's the spring sales event at WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Hey, Mom. I can't wait to tell you about today. I met a new friend. I know you always say I'm shy, but I actually went up to her and we started talking. She even helped me pick out flowers. She said she's glad we became friends. It's great to meet someone who really understands. She lost her dad last year. Here are the flowers we picked out for you. Aren't they beautiful? I really miss you, Mom.
TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, provides resources, support, and comfort to heal the hearts and meet the needs of grieving military families, all at no cost to them.
I love you. See you next week.
Families never forget, and neither do we. Show our military families that they are not alone. Help us at taps.org/family.
Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line. It's open phones, your chance to call in. Really, this is like a virtual community meeting, an opportunity just to hear from others. What are they going through? What are you going through? A shared chance to just talk right now. And in this time of fear and uncertainty and change, I think that's a good idea. We have no guests, so it's just you. Plenty of calls. I'm just going to go back to the phones. We're going to go to Derek. Hello, Derek. Where are you calling from, Derek?
I'm calling from Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro?
First of all, how you doing, Ben? I know you've been busy, and I appreciate this show. And I hope with everything that's going on, this may need to be a week-long call-in show just on this subject. But right now, my fear is we're living under administration that we really can't trust. And we don't know whether they're giving us talking points or what they're saying is true. What I don't understand is why the president hadn't called on the Army Corps of Engineers to start building actual brick and mortar places for potential patients. And if South Korea can do it if China can do it in 2 weeks, and we call ourselves the largest economy, why are we failing as Americans and our government on being able to build the same thing, if not sooner than later? I mean, we have construction workers, I would think, are talented enough in each state to put together something as quick as they did. Now, as far as hospitals, I think the rural hospitals are coming back to haunt us, how we have not supported those people who work there and the surrounding businesses that need the support of the hospital workers. Those hospitals that are closed, are still and upright, can be open again, could be refurbished with everything they need so that rural people won't have to come into the metropolitan area and help spread a virus that's already out of control. You tell me if that makes sense, but that's how I see it. Another thing, for the airlines to get $50 billion like they did after 9/11, and I think the taxpayers who gave them that money was shorter leg room, less food on the plane, and basically charging for baggage fees that have gone up into the billions that they make every year. But we always put them on the first list. I feel sorry for them, but at the end of the day, they don't feel sorry for us as passengers or customers or taxpayers. And I don't think that when you're going to give them $50 billion, but you're not willing to give the average food service, a hotel worker, $5, the governor's saying 14 days of pay, that's nothing when you've got rent to pay. So it should be a national or state moratorium on rent and mortgages and car payments, period. And we have the power as governors and the President Trump to do this. Will they? I don't know. That's how
Derek,
all I have to say, 'cause
a
I know
lot
you
of
got
stuff.
plenty of customers.
Yeah, we do, Derek. Thank you. I know in Italy they did put a moratorium on mortgages. I mean, so it's one thing to say, all right, you don't have to pay your rent, but then the owners of places still have to pay their mortgage. It would be very interesting if there were a moratorium on mortgages, or at least a freeze or something. I have not heard that discussed. I have heard discussed stimulus money going directly to the American people, $1,000 going directly to people. I heard it discussed. I haven't heard anything passed at this point. You bring up an interesting point about the lack of hospital beds. There is no doubt there is a lack. There's a lack here in Nashville, and Nashville is a medical community. I think there's one bed for every 200 and something people. You get outside of Nashville, it's one bed for every 3,000 people, or even more. So yes, that is an issue. That is a major concern. You mentioned China, and I read, and that's where we are now. I read, and I trust the source that I read it from, that things are improving there. That some of these makeshift places that have been built, added onto hospitals, where hospital beds were added, are beginning to close down dramatically. And so that is good news. That means there hopefully is an end in sight, and let's hope that that's accurate, but I throw that out there. Derek, thanks for the call. Let's go to Ann. Hello, Ann?
Yes.
Where are you calling from, Ann?
I'm calling from East Nashville. I'm calling from actually the heart of the tornado zone. Although I was not injured or damaged, I have a daughter that was affected by the tornado, and she's now been affected by COVID-19 and has lost her income on top of everything else. I have 3 daughters, and they have now, as of today, all 3 lost their income.
Oh, no.
So COVID-19 has, on top of the tornado, affected all of my children. And
what industries are they in, Ann? What do they do?
One is in New York and is a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
So she's not even in Tennessee. She was the first one that was told to stay at home. One was a hairstylist who was in her building was in 5 Points, and it's no longer there, and had just gone back to work as a stylist and been working 3 days, and the salon closed down because of COVID-19.
Wow.
And the other is with a hotel chain.
Right.
And as of today, was told you have X many days, and then we will no longer need you because we will no longer have occupancy in our hotel.
Right. Well, Marriott's laying off a lot of people.
So,
we've been getting all kinds of